Hello everyone, this video is made for people who live outside the US. Essentially लोग जो हमारे इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश, श्रीलंका या जहाँ भी रहते हैं वर्ल्ड में, जिनको इन्वेस्ट करना है शिकागो रियल एस्टेट के अंदर। शिकागो रियल एस्टेट काफ़ी डायनामिक है, लॉट ऑफ पीपल इन्वेस्ट हियर एंड मोस्टली जो हमारा काम है केटल एंड ओक का। आई रन एंड मैनेज अ कंपनी कॉल्ड केटल एंड ओक. It specializes in Chicago real estate, specifically in Section 8. So in a nutshell, what Section 8 is that government यहाँ पे rent देती है low income families को. Anyone who makes less than about $12,000 a year qualifies for something called a housing choice voucher, जहाँ पे उनको और उनकी फैमिली को 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 बेडरूम के घर, अपार्टमेंट्स वगैरह मिलते हैं. This is a very good function for a couple of reasons. Number one, especially जो homeless हो जाते हैं उनके लिए एक बहुत बड़ा benefit है. They are able to secure their housing. Number two, the government is able to ensure that there is less homelessness, especially less homeless people on the streets. And third, it gives a incentive for investors and landlords कि वो अपनी properties जो अभी हैं, जो वो normally एक regular market tenants को देते हैं, वो अब Section 8 recipients को दें. And in exchange, the government will guarantee them the rent the first of every month. So a lot of people do invest in Chicago, in specifically Section 8 properties. Section 8 properties can run anywhere from $100,000 to up. Normally जो rentals होते हैं वो 1 साल के लिए होते हैं. उसका qualification process takes about 60 days, 60 calendar days. और इसके अंदर how we are able to help Kettle and Oak specifically is that we can buy a property under your name. So your company will be registered by us through our agents. We will file a TIN number for you in the US, which is called a tax identification number. We will also file all the paperwork on your behalf that is necessary to own the property as well as to eventually rent it. हम tenant की screening करते हैं, उनकी qualification करते हैं, हम उनकी income criteria की assessment करते हैं, and then finally when all the conditions have been met, we will go ahead and place the tenant in this property as well. One extreme advantage to working with us is that we are able to also set up a US bank account on your behalf as well. So we become the agents. Now during this entire process, I want to ensure that you are the property owner, you are your company, and the funds come to your bank account. They don't route through us. You don't own a property through a company that you have a shares in, none of that. आपके नाम पे प्रॉपर्टी होती है, आपका खुद का बैंक अकाउंट होता है, एंड आप उसको जब भी चाहें बेच सकते हैं. अपना मिनिमम प्रिंसिपल तो आपको बैक मिल ही जाता है, प्लस जो भी उसके दूसरे बेनिफिट्स होते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ foreign currency, US dollar appreciation, in terms of the appreciation of the property here as well, and so on. So most people start off with a single family house, which is basically one family house. It could be a house like a single family house like a bungalow, a 2-story house, or it could be a 2, 3, 4 unit building as well. And it can go as big as 20, 30, 70, 100 units and more even as well. During the entire process, we are able to assist you from a transaction perspective as well. And then every year we file taxes on your and your company's behalf as well. The cost to do the entire setup, the paperwork, the bank account, everything is $5,500. And जो भी the property की price होगी वो obviously अलग होगी. Owning a property in Chicago gives you several advantages. One is if you're buying and investing in this property from outside, then the biggest advantage that people gain is that उनके जो returns होते हैं वो USD में होते हैं, US dollar में होते हैं. So कल को for your retirement purposes, or if your children or anyone else comes to the US, they are able to tap into those accounts as well. I have certain colleagues, friends, investors who have done this as well through us, and they thoroughly enjoy this. And the number one reason is that their asset is protected here. In the US, by law, the assets are very secure. There is no such thing as, someone kind of has a hold on your property, etc. It's legally yours. It will always legally remain yours as long as obviously criteria are met. For example, the property taxes are paid and so on. So typically the number one question is कि मेरा ROI क्या होगा property पे. So pleased to tell you that Chicago के अंदर the ROI is a minimum of 6%, and it can normally एक average जो ROI होता है वो 8 to 10% का तो होता ही है. The expenses that you have are water, insurance, property management, and then repairs and maintenance. And mind you, the percentages that I told you are net. So this is after all other expenses have been paid for. Any given time, you are free to sell the property at any time, whenever you need your capital as well as any appreciation that you may have received back. जो भी आपका मंथली रेंट होता है वो आपके खुद के अकाउंट में जा रहा होता है. You can check your account online 24/7 through web access. आप उसको वायर किसी भी अकाउंट में कर सकते हैं वर्ल्ड के, चाहे वो इंडिया हो, पाकिस्तान हो, दुबई हो, UK, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, within US भी हो. And then you can use the funds for anything that you want. There is no restriction per se. In your bank account, you can also wire money into it. Say tomorrow you decide that you want to buy more properties, etc. That is also possible. हम आपकी कंपनी बनाते हैं, वो कंपनी सिर्फ रियल एस्टेट के लिए नहीं होती. Even though we recommend that you keep it strictly for that, but you can also use it for any other things. For example, trading के लिए, for any kind of other business transactions and so on. You will have a fully executed company based out of Chicago, based out of US, to do business in the US as well as globally around the world with a US bank account. And the cost to do all of this, including filing the papers with IRS, which is the Internal Revenue Services, which is the US arm for collecting and managing the tax system. So ये पूरा इसका cost, Kettle & Oak आपको charge करता है $5,500 one time. And then जो भी recurring taxation charges होंगे उसके tax payment के as well as for preparation, वो हमारी sister company आपके साथ करेगी. We are available 24/7 as well. We have a round the clock team. So anytime you have any questions, you can email us, you can call us, we can set up a Google Meet or a Zoom call. We also have people in various parts of the world who act as reps. So we have someone in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, in UK, in Canada, in Australia, and it's growing as well. In Dubai as well, by the way. And obviously Chicago mein to hai hi hum. We can also send you a welcome letter should you in case want to visit US and see the properties for yourself. If not, we can arrange a tour either through web streaming or even take a video and show you the entire property that you are going to purchase. We do execution of that entire transaction now digitally as well, so you don't necessarily have to be in the US. आपको यहाँ आने की ऐसा ज़रूरत नहीं है, but you are always welcome should you want to visit Chicago. We will pick you up at the airport. We will ensure that we will show you everything in terms of where the properties are, how is it set up, and facilitate the entire transaction for you. The question that we get asked a lot is that how do we transfer the funds to you? So the way it works is that we will give you first all the paperwork that is associated with your property. You wire us the funds into Kettle & Oak's account, and then we act as your escrow and your trusted agent. And then we broker that transaction between the buyer, which is you, and the seller, the one who is selling the property. Typically, both parties are within our network, so there is a high trust system within the whole transaction, and hence we are able to facilitate it with 100% full confidence. Once the transaction is processed, we will send you the original paperwork, the deeds, the titles, and everything as well. You will get a digital copy as well as we send you an executed ink copy as well on your request, and we can mail this or FedEx this to anywhere you want in the world. I hope I have answered all of your questions, but in case there are other questions, feedback, etc., I always welcome that. We can hop on a call. आप चाहें तो email कर सकते हैं. We can get on Zoom or Google Meet as well, and then we can discuss further in terms of what needs to be done and any questions that you have on your end. Thank you so much.